Hey guys, Kelsey here, One Star Diamond Beachbody. I am here to share with you how eating better has completely changed my life. It's been a 360 since I started focusing on my nutrition, not just my fitness. So when I first started, I've told my story time and time again. I started off with trying to eat clean. I put myself into a calorie deficit, and then slowly I started to learn as I started to do Beachbody programs, reading the meal guides, and doing my own research. So since I kind of have gotten a grasp on how to eat right, my life has changed in so many ways. The energy I now have has blown my mind. I don't ever remember a time in my life that I've ever had this much energy, not even as a child. To be quite honest, my parents fed me very well growing up. They were very conscious of what we ate. But me being a binge eater and a silent sweet addict, I used to steal. I call it stealing because my mom didn't know. I would steal things like icing containers, full icing containers, bags of chocolate chips, anything baking related, and I would hide it in my room and eat it in the middle of the night. I even used to tell my mom I made a snack for myself after school when she would be at school still. My parents were both teachers. And my snack that I created for myself was bread, butter, and brown sugar. Yeah, so that's what I was eating. So my parents would feed me this really nutritious breakfast, suppers, and lunches, and they'd have healthy snacks always in the fridge. But me being a binge eater and having a really bad sweet tooth, I created an unhealthy diet for myself. So all throughout my life, I've always eaten bad, even when I was a child. And I've never really felt what it felt like to be healthy until now. And I can tell you, when I go off of my meal plan for a couple weeks at a time here and there, due to my own bad excuses and whatnot, I can tell you right now that I feel awful. I feel so, not that I don't feel awful that I went off of it. Obviously I do, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about physically. I start getting bloated. I start getting headaches. I feel ill. I feel really, really tired. Things just don't feel right. So my life has completely changed since eating healthy. Because I have more energy and because I don't feel sick, I actually have found that I really, really enjoy things I used to not really like doing, like hiking or being out in public, or even simple things like going and visiting, because I always feel kind of sick. So being around people, I always was worried about having to run to the bathroom or getting sick at their house. And I thought that was just part of having IBS and having digestive disorders, and it's not. It was a lot to do with what I ate. So eating better has changed my life drastically. So my challenge for you today is to think as a whole. I want you to look at your life. What are you doing daily that you know is a bad habit? I want you to know that right now, whatever you're doing, I need you to just recognize it for what it is. You are either overeating, undereating, or you're going undereating, overeating, and you have an unhealthy relationship with food. Most people don't know enough about food to actually eat properly. Most people have an unhealthy relationship with food. So it is okay to say that you don't know how to eat or what to eat, because most of society hasn't been taught that skill. Yes, we're taught to look at the Canadian Health Guide, or we're taught a little bit about nutrition in school, or we learn from what our parents, but if you're anything like me, healthy eating was more about, did you drink milk today? Did you eat your vegetables? Did you eat your fruit? But there was nothing about portion control. There was nothing about being realistic and fueling your body for what it needs. There was no knowledge about what your body needs to be fit, what your body needs to be sedentary. There was none of that. So I did not know what it meant to be healthy. I knew I shouldn't eat lots of dressing. I knew I shouldn't eat butter by the spoonful, and I knew I shouldn't eat sugar by the spoonful. But the reality is, I didn't know what it actually meant in my life. I didn't know how to apply it. So my task for you is to look at your life and say, okay, I overeat when I undereat when I don't know what to cook at this time of day. I don't know what I should be feeding my children or my husband. If you Every one of you will have one of those. Are you overeating when you're stressed? Are you undereating when you're stressed? Are you undereating when you just don't know what to cook? I want you to think of those things. If you have questions and you need help to identify how to fix this problem, reach out to me and I'd love to help you out. I'd love to address it in this group, and I would love to address it in any challenge groups that you're in the future. So please be aware of what you're doing. Take the time to really focus on this, because your life is worth it. You feeling good is worth it. The time I've spent learning this is numerous hours. The time I've put into being able to give more detailed information in my challenge groups about food took me hours of research, talking to doctors, and even trying things myself. And I can tell you every single second of that has been worth it, because my life is completely different. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for checking out my videos. And I hope that you start to eat better too. And I hope that you feel great.